Hello and welcome to another Three Geeks interview, or the first ever episode of Prairie Dogging on the, on the Three Geeks podcast. We are here with a super special guest, star of Little House on the Prairie, Alison Arngrim. How are you doing?
I am great. I turned this light up there. That looks better. Very good. Yes, I'm doing for someone undergoing a kitchen renovation, I'm doing really well. My friends are like, "Oh, isn't it horrible?" I'm like, "No," because these guys are really fast, and they just come in on the weekends and just, but like they go really quickly, and they've done a nice thing. It's like they pull the fridge out and just shove it off to the side, so it's still plugged in. And they put plastic wrap around it when they're painting, but you could still get at it. So, and then when they're done at the end of the day, they shove the stove back and turn it back on, put the fridge back. So they leave and go, yes, you can still go in your kitchen and make food. Now, the dish, there's a box of the silverware's over there, and the pots and pans are over there, and the dish, I mean, it's like complete three-ring circus with it. So it's like, can you find the frying pan? If you can find the frying pan, you can totally go in and make dinner.
But you have to find it first.
yeah, that part, like we have said to hell with it and ordered it in several times. On the weekend, we'd be hanging out here. We wound up like ordering in breakfast because it's like, well, you want to go in the kitchen and make egg? No, we don't want to go in. There's three guys and they're banging around, hammering. I think we're ordering in or going out. So yeah, so there was some ordering in, but we weren't like, some people are kitchenless for like 2 or 3 weeks with no fridge, no stuff. They literally, there is no kitchen. They cannot eat in their house.
That is
and we
my
didn't do that.
Experience with kitchen renovation.
Yeah, it's like modular. And so they're like, okay, we're going to do this section and this section. So we're not actually kitchenless. Like maybe for a few hours here and there. It's so much easier.
And you've been doing it for a few weeks now, right?
Yeah, because they just come in. They come in like Saturday and Sunday or Friday, Saturday and Sunday, and just like go like all get out. And basically it's one cabinet has to be finished, and then it's like touch-ups and, like as I said, knobs and things.
Easy.
Awesome.
We're very excited. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's nice. That's the all right. So you were one of the greatest, most effective villains.
Thank you.
Of all time.
Thank you.
I think like when you're doing it right, when like you just want to dislike the person, and I think Nellie was just a wonderful character. How much fun was it to get to play her on that kind of show?
Yeah, me and Dean and Pamela Bob, we were just talking, we were on our Prairie podcast thing, and we were talking about the episode Bunny where I go down the hill in the wheelchair where I'm so awful. And we're just saying like so incredibly terrible, and how much I enjoyed it, and that the audience's satisfaction when I would finally go down a hill in a wheelchair or get thrown in a pond or something terrible would happen to me, eggs over the head, what have you, that this people found this so satisfying. You really have to make them just want to smack you in the face for that to be satisfying. If I wasn't that mean, if I wasn't like mean enough, pushing me down, poor 13-year-old girl down a hill in a wheelchair, that would have been cruel. People would have said, oh, that's terrible. Oh, the poor girl. But I took it so far that when people saw a bucket or something go over my head, they went, yes, God. And so, yeah, I was very pleased with the results. And I've always been proud of the show and what I did. And I enjoyed it. There's episodes I watch and I go, yep, I had fun every single day making that.
And it's, so we're husband and wife. And when he started dating, I mean, I've been watching Little House on the Prairie since I read the books, watched the shows, everything. And even now, like, it's like, okay, I got to go through where I start with season 1, episode 1, and I go through the whole thing. So he got sucked into it eventually.
Yeah, my husband hadn't really watched the show at all. I mean, I'm on the thing, but he hadn't really watched it much at all before he got married, really. And we were going to an event with the cast, and I said, we got to watch a couple episodes. And we're going up to Northern California where they shot Lord is My Shepherd. Ernest Borgnine is apparently God or an angel or something. I don't know what that was. Or a dove. We don't know. And I said, you should watch this episode. And he was like, oh my God. He was like, it's so slow. I don't get it. And then finally watched some other episodes. Okay, I get it. Some of the better ones he got in. But now he said also it's better when he met everybody. He's like, I find the episodes more interesting because I know him. It's like I know these people. He says, much more exciting that way. So I'm like, oh, okay, that works. But yeah, he got sucked into the Prairie vortex, and now, as you know, Bob Schoonover, he writes the Nellie newsletter. He created the pocket Nellie, so I always have a small picture with me. I mean, he's now gotten into the whole thing. He's now part of the whole Prairie scene, and fans come to the events, and like, well, at the 50th anniversary, we were swamped. We were so crowded that I would have to leave and do a panel, and then I'd have to come back, and then I'd have to leave and do photos. So there's this line just waiting at the table, and he would have to entertain them. So he's now become part of the thing. People are like, oh, is Bob coming? And people are like, oh, good, Bob's here. I love the newsletter. And they're like, and he's now his own thing. And I don't think he really anticipated that.
Yeah.
He's part of the Prairie machinery.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta expect something, though. You know, like that's.
I mean, he was all over it because I mean, he came up with stuff. He's like, okay, this is the invention of the pocket Nellie. So you know, we're in line at the movies or at the beach or somewhere where you don't have a bunch of autographed pictures with you. It's not a thing. And someone's like, "Oh my God, can I get one? You know, my grandmother loves you," and blah blah blah. And they're in from out of town. It's like that second, I'm signing people's arms. I'm signing wet cocktail napkins. It's a disaster. So he said, what if we had a little tiny picture that fit in like pockets? And he said, well, the one that everybody likes, the really scowly, terrible picture. And he said, okay, put that on a little tiny, like a 3x5, like a Z card, as models would call it. Well, and he says, got a stack of those in the coat pocket. So then we're never stuck. And he came up with this, the pocket, and then the stickers on the back, which would have like where to sign up for the newsletter, where to write fan mail, all that. They would just address labels, but mock up a thing with the info people would need, and like, you know, agent contact. I mean, I got called in for something because somebody had my picture on their fridge and they had a party and somebody came in and said, oh, I love her. I'm trying to get hold of her. Oh, wait, here's her agent phone number on the back. So it works.
Yeah, the networking, you gotta do it.
he came up with that. He's like, oh yeah, I'm totally into this. So yeah, no, he's all over it. He found it fascinating. I mean, you know, and
he
it is bonkers, but he's
because I get it.
Yeah, he jumped in feet first. Once he realized, okay, is this where we're going? This is the train I need to be on. And okay, then, and has excelled.
He's like, she's in France. She's living life right now. It's like, oh, I want to be in France living life.
And that's the thing. Is he was, you know, we support each other. You know, when his band was playing, I would be in the back selling the CDs and the T-shirts. It's like, it is weird. Now, are you a hardcore Prairie fan that when you turn on an episode, you know which episode it is, like before it's even started, like the opening credits, or like I know the music is started. I know this one.
Yeah, it is like some people are like, did the music change? And I was like, yes, it did.
Yeah, but you can tell the thing has not even started yet. It hasn't said what episode it is or even directed by. And you go, oh, it's the one with the thing. And then when married, and people are like, why? They did. The wagon hasn't stopped yet. I possibly know this. And there are people who do that. I can't do it, but yeah. See, there you go.
I'm pretty close on it. I can't say I know every single one by the intro, but I can definitely, the seasons, I'll be like, oh yeah, this is.
Oh yeah. Because there's definitely a change.
She's being humble. She knows everyone. It was funny because she had put it on, you know, just she was on one of her I gotta run through it phases, and I could not have cared any less when it started. And then, you know, and then it was what's Laura getting up to now? And then I was just sitting down, you know, with the popcorn, like
you get pulled in. You get pulled in. I know so many people who went to go watch 1 or 2 episodes and got addicted. It's terrible. They got just sucked in. And I've known so many people, so weird. They were sick. Like people said, well, you know, I never watched show, but I was in the hospital and I was stuck there for months. I started watching Little House on the Prairie one afternoon. Boom, that was it. I met a woman. She said, yeah, I was in a body cast for like months. It was really, started watching the show. And people had various medical, I couldn't leave the house. It was terrible. I was having confusion. So I was really bored. So I put on this thing. I said, what's Little House? I'm tired of the soaps. I'll watch this. And then they're like, I've seen every episode 10 times. They got pulled in, and people who watch it by accident, their husband, wife, roommates are they went, what the hell is this thing? And so it's a highly addictive show. It's very strange.
I mean, I think it's a good and a bad thing, but like a lot of the bigger like life lesson episodes are still relevant. which is
Oh my God, right?
Yes.
We're still cool. It's like all the things that, well, all right, during the pandemic, there was a thing where somebody brought up, I guess, well, people were home and a bunch of new people started watching the show because they were home.
Mhm.
And somebody saw The Wisdom of Solomon with Todd Bridges and freaked out at its absolutely head-on discussion of racism and just went, I didn't know this was on the show. And people were going, I didn't know Michael Landon was woke. What is happening? And they were totally freaked out. We're like, yeah, it was the 70s. People were talking about race and slavery in the 70s. It was a thing. But it's a really intense episode. Todd Bridges is so good in it. And the stuff that he says, people were like, whoa, wait, this was on TV in the 70s? We're like, yes, this was on TV. And the poor guy who comes back from the Civil War and ODs, is addicted to drugs. And Albert, we had drug addiction. We had everything. We had all kinds of child abuse and spousal abuse and alcoholism. And oh my God, do you even want to get there about the Sylvia episode? Do we even discuss such things?
I was shocked, again, because I was like, oh, Little House is such a wholesome, it's not going to go too deep, and it's all, it's like, okay, sharing and friendship.
And now she's dead.
Yeah.
It's like,
and now this poor traumatized girl
horrifying.
It's like one of those episodes, like, it depends on my mood. If I know it's coming up, it's like, I may skip this one today, or be like, okay, I can handle it.
Now we're Pamela Bob. We did talk. She talked about this. One of the problems, they never changed the closing credits. So she said she'd have an episode where we just watch like the blizzard, where all these people die horribly and stuff, and people are dying, or like the Sylvia episode or something like this, and you're just sitting there going, "Oh my God, what just happened?" And they go, Laura runs down the hill, and you're like, wait, just a bunch of people just died.
Just read the room a little bit.
Yes.
Music.
Yeah. Couldn't we have had like one other thing where we had like maybe slower, more dramatic music? Or if it was one of those episodes, we could have just had da, 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 like a quiet.
The studio is not paying for that.
Exactly. They're like, they'll be fine.
We started keeping count on like townspeople who were important for an episode,
and then never seen again.
You never see or hear from
Prairie vortex.
Yes.
They show up for an episode. Whatever, Reverend Alden's wife.
Yes.
Snakes.
Yes.
People they were there, and they were a huge deal. And in the episode, everybody talks about like how they know them. They're like, it's one thing when the people arrive in the wagon. Oh, they are new to the town, and they go through whatever adventure. Okay, well maybe they didn't like it and they left after that episode. But these are people where people are talking to them like they know them.
That's like the doctor episode. I can't remember his name, but it's like Dr. Baker has been the doctor for years. And then all of a sudden there's this miscellaneous retiring doctor off to the side that they're like, oh yeah, I've been going to him forever. I'm like, where did he come from?
Like, who's he? Yeah. Well, people do appear. And then where did people live? We had what we called the guest star house. That was a little kind of funky wooden house up the hill, right next to the barn that they used in Men in Black. Those kind of stuff. But it was reused. That house was on Bonanza Gunsmoke. I see it in Westerns all the time. I go, oh, I know that house. It was, Luke Sims' house in the Big Front. It's everybody's house. So there's that one house. And then there's apparently the room over the post office. There's some boarding house there with a couple of rooms. Yeah. That's it, man. Where are all these people?
Yeah. They're just like, oh, they just happen to live in the same house that happens to be the blind house, but don't.
Oh, and the blind don't go there. How many things has that place been?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I wanted to make a map of Walnut Grove that would like constantly change just a little bit as people moved in and out.
Now there's some really good stuff. There's a guy, Eric Caron, who's on the internet, and he's got a website and he's on Facebook. He's really meticulous. He does a lot of art and has created like miniature little houses for the cast and stuff. But he created a whole thing. He's got a bunch of stuff that he's even licensed now with like, there's a Nellie paper doll. Fuck yes. But he's got some stuff. He has done a map, and you can do it. You can get the aerial view of Big Sky Ranch out there off Chapel Road, and like check his map. Like, yep, this is where the house is. This is where this is. This is because he's like done it. He's done it.
That's
and the most recent episode I watched, and I was like, it's just, we have teenagers, and it's the one where you were getting married. I'm drawing blanks
The
on
pig farmer or Percival? I both remember.
Oh my god, that's a whole other story. I know he's like your bestie in real life.
Oh, Steve, yeah. The Nellie marries Percival.
The pig farmer though, and
Luke.
Yes, there we go. Thank you, Luke. It was like on the tip of my tongue.
Lovely
But
boy.
that scene where you guys just got married and you're getting like undressed. Harriet's like, oh, like
Make her a widow. Now, when I'm behind the screen throwing the petticoats over at the top of the thing, the honeymoon, and they're playing the like weird music, and they're playing like whenever he walks in the room, there's like the hillbilly music. When I start throwing things over, the music changes, and do you recognize it? Go back. It's the song. It's the stripper. It's da 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 da. That song, the stripper. David Rose, our composer for Little House on the Prairie, also composer on Bonanza, etc., is the guy who wrote the stripper. That was like his big claim to fame. And he worked it in. He snuck it in. It was
gotta get kind of, it's all good. I guess it's like I'm here anyway, right? Like
there's so many inside jokes and Easter eggs and stuff on Little House on the Prairie. It's bananas. There's so much stuff going on, and like there's people just noticing things 50 years later. Going, wait.
I belong to a blooper.
Yeah, we love.
The blooper on Facebook, the blooper page. I'm on there all the time.
Oh my gosh! They're like that. The first time we caught one on our own was like Paul and Mr. Edwards was like on a wagon, and you see the guys are like rocking the wagon, and you see this guy's like watch up and down.
There's a guy's hand in the thing with the reins, really, and they're faking. Well, because first of all, even if an actor said, yes, I have driven a buggy before, I grew up on a farm, I can ride it was too technical. Well, okay, or can you ride a buggy so well that you can make sure to veer right at camera and not hit anybody or anything? No.
Right.
But these professionals absolutely know how to do that. And Dean rode horses. He'd been raised around horses. He said, oh, I can totally, all actors, I can do that. Sure, I can. Gorillas can? What? Yeah. So he said, sure, I can drive a buggy. And I guess he could if there was nothing around to hit. And he managed, his hat flew off and he tried to grab it and he let go of the reins and the thing crashed in. And Michael said, okay, we're going to have a stunt person or one of our wranglers drive the buggy for you from now on because I can't lose that many horses. And it was just like, sorry, dude. And so you're cut off. And many of us did not ride it. I don't ride or anything and know how to do that. So we had a massive team of stunt people and wranglers who really knew how to ride a buggy and drive a buggy and ride a horse and were professionals. And they could that way, those great shots where you see the horses coming at you and they go right back. They could do that. They could get close to a camera and have crew people and lights and have the horse not freak out. The horses knew what they were doing and they were trained that they could do these things. Whereas we actors would have been, wait, where do I turn? So it was much safer to have the professionals do it.
That is interesting though. Where it's like, okay, like Dean is like, yeah, I've ridden a horse. I've done this. Like,
I drove a little buggy at the farm back 20 years ago.
No, it's actually to act like you're doing the thing is actually more technical than just doing the thing.
It's much harder to do the fake thing for TV than do the actual thing because there's 300 people and cameras and lights and you're in a confined space and there's all kinds of things going on. Yeah, no. That's why it's like things you're like, well, wait, I do that in real life. Yeah, good luck, do it on TV. No, you
And I know from your book that like you got in trouble for breaking your leg skateboarding.
Arm. So the wheelchair was great because I got Doc Baker's like, oh, here, she broke her arm. Because Yo-Yo here goes skateboard and I fell off the skateboard. I wasn't even doing anything cool. I just like fell over and I got a big thing on my head, almost like the one in the show. And it's great many. And because this was the 70s when we were all stupid. Nobody wore helmets or wristbands or anything. Nothing. I had no safety equipment, whatever. I did not recommend this. Yeah, it was the 70s now. We played with lawn darts and drank out of house. Yeah. No wonder any of us are alive. I tell people now, no, wear the helmet, wear the protective gear for God's sakes, because I hit the ground, broke my wrist, cut up my knee, put a big bump on my head. I mean, it was not pleasant. And I could have been hurt really badly. And it was because I slammed my arm down instinctively to save my head from cracking on the cement that I got the broken arm.
It's a fair trade.
Yeah, I was like, better the arm. But then I got to go in and I got to count. They're like, how are we shooting around this cast? They went, wait, we have an episode. She goes down. Okay, she pretends she's paralyzed. What if she broke her arm thing? And we can cover it. So 1970s plaster cast with Doc Baker's wooden slats and bandages, 1800s cast over it.
And I love, because I know like he wasn't thrilled with you that had happened, but later on down the line, he breaks his own foot. Like he has a cast. It's obvious.
Like he was skiing. He went skiing.
Yes.
He winds up in a boot thing and everything. Oh, people were always hurting themselves on that set. And then it's a wonder we like survived the shoot. I mean, we were talking about the wedding thing the other day about I got the rice in the eye because they were all flowing that rice. You see how hard they're throwing that rice at me.
Yes.
First, they're just like, you notice people don't throw rice at weddings so much anymore because it's a slipping hazard. And guess what? It can get in your eye. And I had a big old grain of rice right in my eye. And the set medic was there, but Michael comes over and just goes, here you go, twink, and like knocks it out of my eye. I'm told that at one time I was like a crew member had a dislocated shoulder and he went, hang on, and like shoved it back into place. I mean, they did eventually send him to the hospital, but he went, I mean, Michael Landon, frontier medic.
Like that's.
I can fix that. It's only a flesh wound.
As long as he's not holding an axe or something, I think I'll be okay.
It was very brutal. It's a wonder that we weren't all hurt more badly. But people hurt themselves all the time, and we just figured things out and shot around it. But I think showing up when it was like the beginning of the season, I had this big honking cast that went all the way up my arm. They were kind of like, they flipped out initially, but they worked it out.
Like we can figure it out. We got this. But yeah, and then my ADHD. We were talking about the horses. So I was thinking about like Bunny, and I was like, are they allowed to ride Bunny, or they just get to pet Bunny? And then I know there was stunt doubles for you and Melissa.
Yeah.
But I was like, I hope they don't put them on them because like if she gets in trouble for skateboarding, then.
Yeah, you could. I mean, I also was not good with horses. I was actually pathologically afraid of them at the time, which really sucked being in a Western. I'm better now. I had a friend who he worked at a camp. He said, I worked at a camp teaching mentally disturbed children to ride horses. I go, I'm your candidate to take me. I'm the perfect person for that. And I'm a little better now. I don't like panic if I pass a stable, but I don't really ride, and I sure didn't. And so they said, well, Melissa could ride, so if she wanted to sit on the horse while they're setting up the scene, that was okay. If she wanted to kind of like ride around the paddock a little bit with the horse, that was fine. But they said, we can't have you fall off and hurt yourself. It's right. We got 1,000 that we can get more stunt people. It doesn't matter which stunt person we have do it. You fall off the horse. We hold a production for weeks at a time. So, better have the stunt person. And as I said, the technical stuff of how you're going to ride it. So she could ride. She might be in the shot, like riding into the scene. But as soon as that horse went more than like 2 miles an hour, no, that's the stunt woman.
So like, yeah.
No. And I was so bad. Okay, so like in Bunny, that opening where the poor horse is being beaten, like so not it's fake. It's so fake.
Oh yeah.
The horse is fine. But I'm standing on a ladder. I'm literally hitting a ladder with the riding crop. I literally did not even get on the horse at any point. I was barely in the same room as the horse.
There's probably people off to the side like, oh my God, look what she's doing.
It was like the horse and I barely shot on the same day. There was like, I had no interaction with that poor horse at all. And it's great. I actually told her she was really worried. Pamela was really worried because she said that scene traumatized her as a kid because she's like, oh my God, the poor horse. I said, watch it with the sound off because they've put in dramatic music. They've put in fake sound effects of some horse, probably from some old movie, going neigh, neigh, and screaming. I said, turn the sound off, and you'll see there's nothing happening. The stunt person, the riding crop's nowhere near the horse, like never makes contact. And what she's really doing is going, okay, rise up. And the horse goes, that's like it. That's it. That's the whole thing. The horse rears up exactly twice and like this much because she's going upsies. That's the whole show. And then she like turns on a big, dramatic spin around and rides off. And the horse is like awesome. Like it likes doing that. But we're doing the spin and run away thing. And so the horse is fine. And the riding crop, you can see she's just waving that thing around. It's nowhere near the horse. But if you're not, she's moving so quickly. And the dramatic music and the horse, the terrible neighing and screaming, right? Oh, the poor animal, the poor thing. And then they cut to me beating the bejesus out of a ladder. I mean, literally a big metal hardware store ladder. I'm just standing there whacking it. And people don't know. They see this and it's so dramatic. And Laura's going, no, stop. You think you just, oh my God, the poor horse.
Yeah.
It worked. It was totally fake and it was totally brilliant. And the way they edited and made it look, people were really scared. They were like really worried. But if you slow it down or literally freeze frame or you watch with the sound off, you go, wait a minute.
That horse is fine.
Are they even in the same room?
Whereas I said when I was whipping the ladder, I said, listen, the horse had left. It was off having a cocktail and a cigarette. The horse was
that poor ladder. What about that poor ladder?
That
though?
poor ladder
Whipped,
abuse.
right?
Ladder abuse on the show.
Oh, I'm an advocate for mistreated ladders.
Mistreated ladder. So yeah, we were very particular. I mean, they had already passed the famous laws about no animals were harmed in this production. The whole animals in motion picture was well in place by the time we filmed. It was like in the 40s that they did that. But we were also sticklers. Everybody was an animal lover. And then all the wranglers, there were horse lovers, and all the actors who had contact with horses, people like Michael and Melissa, they all adored the animals. So nobody was harming any animals on the show. Everybody
there were so many animals
critters
over the years. Like
we had an orangutan.
Oh
Did we have a bear? Do we have a bear? We had a bear. Why was it in the bear episode? But I think there was a bear, and I was thankfully not in the orangutan or the bear. Like,
that's what, 2 dogs.
The dogs. We had a Jack. We had Bandit. There was that weird just stray dog that showed up. We had the wild dogs or wolves.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. The wild dogs.
Yeah, some like German shepherds with
raccoon
in their fur. Raccoon. So many critters. We did not have bees. Oh my God, the bee story. So Mrs. Olson gets some insane idea. We're gonna get, I guess, wholesale honey, get a whole like honey tree full of bees and save money. I don't know what she was thinking. But
yes.
a wagon with the bees.
Yes.
And we're like, help, swarm. Yeah, right. So there was a moment where this guy claimed he had trained bees that showed up, that they were going to try putting actual bees on us, but it was supposed to be really, really safe, that they didn't sting and they smoked them, or what do they do to bees? It'll be fine. Yeah. But Michael was meeting with the guy and the bee flew over and stung him.
He's like,
in the meeting.
Yeah, and the guy's like, they don't sting. Ow. And Michael's like, they don't sting. You're a non-stinging bee. Just stung me. You can go now.
That was somebody else's bee.
Yeah, it was not my bee.
That was a different bee. Yeah, I don't know that bee.
Yeah, Michael was like, and you're fired. So I was like, we're not doing that. And so what you have is me and Catherine in the wagon going, help, and doing a really great job of pretending to be swarmed by bees. And they did like, I don't know, Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom or something, some footage of bees swarming. And 1970s technology, we had no CGI. They probably overlaid it by taking the 2 pieces of film and going like this and taping it. I mean, it's really primitive. But when you watch it, even now people go, oh, yeah, they're being swarmed by bees. And we had a lot of stuff that was super low rent 1970s technology, all done manually. There was no CGI. None of this was computers. You edited film with like a blade and like the tape.
Cutting.
It was hardcore. And you had no video monitors. You had to watch the dailies the next day to see if the film even came out. I mean, I sound like, Mary Pickford talking about the silent era here, but it was compared to now. It really was. It was a whole other world. It was really hard. So yeah, we made, and what's amazing though is with this absolutely 1970s ancient technology, we made stuff look pretty darn real on the show. I'm impressed.
I think that like the novelty of CG is sometimes a lot more than the actual like quality and practicality of it.
They've gotten sloppy. They've gotten so accustomed to CGI that crowd scenes now, they go, yeah, good enough. And we're also used to, we don't question it. But I've now started seeing movies going, could you even try? I mean, that's blatantly these people have been CGI'd.
Mhm.
They when they first started using it, I think they were trying harder because they
Yeah.
wanted
it's
to
true,
show
they
that it
were.
worked.
Yeah.
And now they're just like close enough. And
Well,
you're like, I can
it's-
see that it's CGI. It's like,
Yeah, no, it's the same thing as like, well, when it first came out, everyone just assumed it would be expensive because it was new, so they didn't mind paying, for whatever. Now it's like, I need the cheapest person to do this,
and that's
So-
always going to look bad. It's always gonna look,
But
and
yeah.
AI sucks. AI is so dumb. It should be artificial dumbness because it's as they used to say about computers when computers were first invented. Yes, that old. When people first had computers, garbage in, garbage out was how the engineers explained it to us amateurs. Look, whatever you put is coming. Any program you're using, garbage in, garbage out. If you didn't put the right information in, you're not going to get anything out. It's not that its fault. What did you put in? And that's the thing with AI. If you don't ask it a very specific question and specify what you mean, it doesn't know.
Yeah.
They did a bunch of tests where there was one like book titles was my favorite. Give me the titles of 10 books on this subject. They should have said, give me the title of 10 existing books that have actually been published on this subject. They didn't. So AI went, okay, and made up 10 completely non-existent titles of it. Just some of them were kind of good. Like somebody should write that. That sounds like, and it's fake author names. It's just completely and I said, AI is like a really, really dumb boyfriend who tells you what you want to hear. And so if you ask a question, it'll go, oh, yes. And it'll spit out an answer and it's wrong. But it's like, that's what you wanted? That's what you wanted me to tell you. Right. And
Please let me.
No, I think of it like a mischievous genie. Like it'll give you mostly what you want, but there's something off. Something's gonna catch you. Like,
you can't like rely on it. Like
no.
Even if you do a thing like the chat GP, where they'll say like, okay, we ran the meeting through this for the notes for the minutes for the meeting. You have to then sit down and read through and see if it actually did it correctly. Mm-hmm. Because you'll start going, oh, this is great. I just pushed a button and I got written minutes of my Zoom call, my meeting. And then you read and suddenly it's like freaking gibberish. It's like, that's not what anyone said. You have to, oh my God. It doesn't know. It's guessing. It's guessing.
It's a tool. It's a new tool. And people are just using it where you like trying to blanket everything with it. And it's not.
You're trying it for everything. And it's like, no.
Yeah.
It's like, slow down.
Yeah, and as I said, unless you ask it the most insanely specific question, I need 10 titles of books that actually exist, that actually have been published by actual writers who actually are alive, human. And unless you say that, it is going to make up titles and give you fake books. It doesn't know any better.
But you were recently in Buster Brooks.
Oh my God, this thing is so great. So Savannah Osler, who makes these movies. So I met this fabulous woman at a Comic Con of all places, and they said, you got to have her on like your show and interview. And she's like saying, yeah, I made this movie, and her favorite movie is Legally Blonde. She's like very blonde and cute. She's like, I made this movie and I got distribution. They're like, wait, what? And she'd written the script in high school and had been like, I'm going to make this movie the last thing I do. And it took forever. And her boyfriend, conveniently, she married a boyfriend, turned out to be a cinematographer. And made this movie. And it was the first one, something about, what was the first one? Something Dream. And because the second one was the one that I was in, but that also had the dream thing. And then Buster Brooks is the third thing that I did.
Yeah.
So she did her first one and I went, oh, that's nice. And then we went to see it. And I was like, this is really good. Wait, you made this for like 50 cents and you've like never, and that's surprisingly good for someone who's supposed to not know what they're doing and doesn't have any money. This is like actually like I've seen people with 10 times as much money make a movie that wasn't this good. Yeah. I was like, this girl knows what she's doing. So she says, I'm going to get more money. I'm going to have you in the sequel. So the Even in Dreams thing happens. And by golly, twice the Dreams first one, and then Even the Dreams. And she hires me to play the evil band manager, who's just like vile, just wonderfully awful in this. This poor innocent girl is trying to keep her band together and keep her relationship with her boyfriend, sing her sister who's passed away, sing her songs. And I come in to try to ruin everything, break up the band, break up the relationship, just screw everything up, and make her life a living hell. So it was really good. And she's like, next thing I know, she calls, said, no, we're doing it. I think it's SAG. I got this, I got that, it's fine. And I'm like, whoa. Then the pandemic hits. And I went, you can't make the movie. She said, no, I called SAG. I got one of the safety people on set. We're going to send you a test kit before you come in. We're going to take everybody's temperature all day. You're going to be tested every other day. Lunch is served outside, blah, 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 blah. We got the safety coordinator. She said, I wanted a really big concert scene with hundreds of people. I can't have that now. Half the scenes are outdoors. The concert scene, we have this many people and we keep them in a room over here and then let them in right before we shoot. And they did it, and they shot a whole movie and nobody got sick, and it was amazing. We did it. And then she calls and goes, I'm making this thing, Buster Brooks. And okay, it's a small part. It's really funny. Do you want to do it? And I read the script and I laughed so hard at this thing, Buster Brooks. This guy, it's like, remember in Ruthless People when at one point they say this may well be the stupidest person alive? This guy, poor Buster, he's not real smart. He's a good boy. He's not too smart. And his rooster named Edgar, he and the rooster, they have to save the family farm, and he's determined to be a big star anyway. So he said, I'm going to go to Hollywood and get a job, and I will make enough money to save the farm. Like in a matter of days, he thinks he's good, and takes the chicken. And he's so dumb. I remember there was one, like the grandmother says, take good care of him. And he says, oh, I will. And she says, I was talking to the chicken. Yeah. And the chicken is smarter, and he gets it. Everything that can go wrong goes wrong because he's like, has no idea. He's absolutely Bambi in the headlights, everything, and gets sort of rescued by this very, very Hollywood girl who knows. She's like, where are you from? And gets him a place to stay. And they go to this coffee shop where everyone hangs out. And that's where I'm the woman who runs a coffee shop who has just really had her last nerve worked and is really done. And this guy comes in to my establishment with a live chicken and then has the audacity to play the banjo. Yes, and I do not tolerate this behavior. And so it's a wonderful couple of scenes. It's just hilarious. But I was reading the script and it just got funnier and funnier. It's a send-up of every I'm going to go to Hollywood and be a star movie at the Let's Put on a Show thing. It is an absolute send up of every one of these go to Hollywood films. You will scream your head off. I laughed so hard reading this thing. And the guy, and he was in High School Musical, the lead guy and everything. This boy, very intelligent, trained actor, has been in many shows. When he becomes Buster Brooks, you can see right through to the back of his head.
Matt Cornett, yeah.
He came in the morning and like took his brain out of his head and set it aside and got in costume.
He's very method.
So good. And so I said, yeah, I'm doing this. And then, of course, we had the actor strike. I go, how are you going to do this? And she says, well, I called SAG and they had the thing. If you're actually an independent producer and under a certain budget and you agree to sign and agree to all of the terms they've been trying to get, they will let you film. And she did, and they did, and they gave her and then I said, so wait, a pandemic and and you keep I said, so if the world's coming to an end, you're going to make like 10 movies. That's basically what she said. Yes, apparently I can only make movies during a disaster.
Special talent.
She makes these great movies. And of course it's all shot in Utah. So we had 2 Osmonds. We had 1 Osmond the last one. You can't make a movie in Utah without an Osmond, right? Is it the law? I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely an unwritten rule, at least.
So Nathan and gosh, I think that's Eric. But we're hanging out with Nathan, very nice guy. So yeah, so there's 2 Osmonds. You get 2 Osmonds in this one. It's a great. I was so happy to do it. I had so much fun doing it, and I'm like, call me the next thing you make. I'll be worried.
Well, I mean, but like, are you worried though? Because it's like, I mean, okay, pandemic. I guess actor strike is a downgrade from pandemic, but
yeah. And she still made a movie. Nobody was making a movie, but
what terrible thing is going to happen that her next movie needs to be made?
I'm a little terrified. That she says I'm making another movie. We're going to shoot it in a bomb shelter. I'm just like, I'm a little frightened.
Well, do you hear the rumbling of that volcano?
Yeah, it's like that's. The quake is going to happen. Separate California from the United States.
Fall into the sea. She calls. I have another great film. So yeah, so she is like amazing and was able to get distribution for things. I'm like, how are you doing this? She's a genius. What you know? But no, it's really fun. It was one of those things. She said, "Are you sure you want to do this? It's not like a big part for you." But I laughed so hard reading the script. I said, I am on the next plane out. What do we need?
You're like, I have to be part of this.
I need to be in this. I need to be in this. It's that good. So yeah, I love that. I love that when people come to me, I always say, I tell independent filmmakers, look, I'm going to want to get paid. I'm going to charge $1 million. You want to get paid and an agent. I have agents to feed.
Put my next
agents and cats.
Agents and cats have to be taken care of. But I said, are you union? Did you get your little SAG paper? Good. They've got 8 million different contracts nowadays. You can make a very cheap. Call the SAG. I say, and do you have some money? And pay me here and get me out there. And is it good? If I read the script and either I laugh, so milk comes out my nose. I'm like, okay, I want to do this. Or I read it and go, wow, I've never played anything like that. Oh, that sounds interesting. And you have enough money to actually make the picture and pay me something reasonable. And you have union paperwork. I'm probably going to show up.
Yeah.
It's all, and so now and again, this happens where independent filmmakers will go, oh, you probably don't want to do this. I go, well, maybe. What do you got? And then I read the script and go, okay, what do we need to do to get this made? And I've had some really great experiences and been in some really great stuff because of that.
Yeah. And you're such an amazing talent. I mean, like he said, like starting off as a child, I know you had like a little bit of a rough patch and you weren't even sure if you're going to get to be an actor or actress.
I had a midlife crisis at 11. I started working at like 5, and then I did a movie. I did all this. I was like working all the time. And then at 11, I wasn't working that much. My father sat me down and gave me the whole, you might be washed up speech. This could be it. Maybe you work after you're 18, or you might never work again. You know how these things are. And that I needed to consider, plan B, what I was going to do with my life. I was 11.
I love it.
I had a midlife crisis, identity crisis, 11. And then I got Little House. So that's why people say, are you making a comeback? I say, no, Little House was the comeback.
Oh my gosh.
I had a comeback at 12. Okay, that was the comeback, babe.
Yeah. And you just, because it wasn't even a role you were looking to do. And you knocked it out of the park. But like, as you've grown as a person, like in everything, you are so funny. It's so unique to see somebody be like some actors. I'm not going to diss anybody, but like when they get into that they're just a bad person, like not them personally, but I mean, like they're just a bad character. Like they cannot be anything else. And
there are, okay, a long time ago, I will pontificate briefly because this is a thing I ranted about somebody the other day. Say, I can't believe, when did this start? There was some kind of like sanitization of Hollywood. I think it started with like the Hays Code in the 30s, where they said movies shouldn't be, don't shoot anybody, don't have 2 people in a bed. And they started trying to clean things up. And they started having morals clauses in the contracts of the studio. You had to reasonably behave yourself. And then in the 50s, it got all Doris Day. And suddenly anybody who was on TV or the movies, but especially TV, was supposedly of high moral character, even if they weren't. The studio was going to say that they were. And everybody suddenly was so good. And you had, Rock Hudson wasn't gay. And
no way.
Yeah, nope.
There was a joke about Doris Day when she was at her height of her squeaky clean image. Someone saying, "Oh, she's great. I knew her before she was a virgin." And, yeah, so it was like, absolutely, it was sanitized. And all of a sudden, and during the war, in World War II, was a lot of suddenly all these actors were buy the war bonds. And the idea somewhere in the 40s, 50s came out that people in movies on TV are your friends and are good, decent, God-fearing, societal, upstanding folk. And that's not really true.
Right.
So how could it be? Nobody, now you're not going to have a whole population of people in one field that just magically all good. Of course not. So, and a lot of people are attracted to acting because they're like narcissistic maniacs, and that happens.
Yes.
So what are you going to do? There's going to be some crazy people. But there was this real push because they went, we're on TV. We got soap companies sponsoring these shows. We can't have all these trashy people. So they kept the trashy people and made up stories about them and had them like marry each other and pretend and, pose with puppies for the fan magazines. And it worked. And people really got this idea. So then as years went on, and we've now had many, many celebrities who revealed that they had, serious drug and alcohol problems, all kinds of things going on, or that they were just kind of awful. And people are like, no. And I'm like, yeah. I mean, they were right in the first place. They used to say, oh no, the actors wouldn't. There were cemeteries, churchyards. We cannot bury an actor in hallowed ground. And I'm like, yeah, you probably had a point. It's some people. And okay, pop stars. I mean, can you imagine back in the day saying, let's have, Mick Jagger babysit the children?
Oh, yeah. No.
It's okay,
my mom might have did it.
Right? My house, that would have been totally normal. Yeah. But nowadays, everyone's like, all these pop stars, they're our friends. And they're like flinging, and people bring their children to Hollywood and just fling them at the industry and throw them at pop stars and film stars. I'm like, really? And there's some very nice people who are completely decent and not dangerous to anyone and are perfectly of sound mind and body. But there are a lot of people, obviously, in the industry because they're attracted to it for whatever reasons that aren't, all there and have issues. And I think the push was so hard to make everybody squeaky clean for TV that people just kind of forgot. Yeah. And now you have this thing when we turn on TMZ, people go, no. And I'm like, yes.
Yeah. It's like, no, I met that guy. This is on brand.
This makes sense.
Sure. And it's just like, true. I mean, and not to go totally downer, but I mean, come on. There were a lot of very, very wealthy people. And at one time people went, really, really, really rich guys. Probably a lot of them get really crazy and do weird stuff and are probably not safe around the women folk. You accepted that was a very likely possibility with some of these people. But then somehow that became, oh, yes, millionaires are all great people. I mean, I've met several and they were very nice. But now we have the Epstein files and everyone's going, what?
Oh my gosh.
And the endless parade of people who are appearing now in them, and everyone's like, but, and I'm kind of going,
nah, that tracks.
I have full respect for the Clintons because they're like, yeah, okay, like I'm on there. It's like McDonald's is like, yeah, I'm a fattening food.
Move to go, okay, we give up. It's already too late. It's out. So we're willing to take everybody else down.
They're just, and Bill was a player, like
we already knew about that guy. We already knew about that guy.
He didn't try. He was just like, whatever, I did it.
Former Prince Andrew, yes. I mean, there was
other people are like, I didn't even breathe the same air. It's like, really?
People are we want to think the best of people. Yes. We want to think everybody's good and nice, and
it would be nice if everything was nice.
Come on, Little House on the Prairie. Come on, look, the blacksmith and Sylvia. Hi, not everybody was your friend then.
Right? Even in pristine Walnut Grove. Yeah,
we had people who turned out to be horrible.
And this is probably going to be taboo for most Little House on the Prairie conversations, but like I said, I grew up on it, and
which is good. I love that. And we're on our 7th generation of viewers.
Oh,
it's cuckoo. It's just great because people that watch it, there's the people who are like my age or sometimes a little younger, a little older, watch it. I mean, the oldest ones are who were moms in the 70s sitting down with their kids, and they were watching for Michael Landon, of course, all the mothers going, oh, it's a lovely children's show, get the children in here. And Michael Landon
got his shirt off in the river.
Oh yeah, I'm watching.
Now I'm in my 40s and I'm like, oh, I see now.
Suddenly, why all these women were watching begins to make sense.
Yeah.
So they passed it on and on and on. We have people showing up autograph shows who are 19 and 20 years old. And I even go, really, you watch us. And they're completely into it. It's craziness.
So my question is I know me personally, like as I grew up as an adult, and then I'm following Melissa's story, your story, and Karen's book blew me away. And I guess
she
like
did
my
not hold
question.
back. She did not hold
Oh,
back. Karen never holds back. Karen, Ma
And-
Ingalls will tell you a thing. She will tell
Yeah.
you. If Ma
And
Ingalls has something to, yeah, she will. She will.
I know that like the children were treated a little bit differently than the female cast members. And at what point, like, where did you kind of be like, wow, I can't believe that was happening? Or
No, I kind of saw, but there's so many things going on. Okay, one, first of all, yeah, I was younger on the show, but I was the eldest really of the kids. And I also, I didn't get any flack from anybody. I always say it's because, when we had the Percival episode, Michael Landon went on the Tonight Show and started talking about how he created character Percival because it was like his parents, that his mother was tall and blonde and domineering, and his father's short and Jewish, want to stand up to him. So I went, oh, I remind him of his mother. Perhaps this is why I never had a problem. I wouldn't get within 20 feet of me. I scare people. I don't know. And that's the thing. I scare those kind of people. So like, everyone was very nice. And I think because we were the kids who grew up, they were very protective of us. The crew was very protective. I think that it was the old boys network. These guys had come up through Bonanza, for God's sakes. They were older. It wasn't even the 70s. They were still like living in the 50s. And I mean, like I said, everybody's like smoking and drinking. It's like Mad Men. It's like, what is going on? How are you making this wholesome show? And everybody's like got a beer. And that attitude back then, that was really normal to tell, that they were all like they were, a smoker. They were all telling these terrible, awful jokes and saying all these terrible things because nobody thought that was weird back then.
yeah,
Like they were at the Friars Club roast or something.
women don't have feelings.
What? And then half the women were like the old Hollywood broads. And they were like, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You heard that one? Wait till you hear this. But about the truck driver and that. I mean, what? Okay. And to be fair, I started doing stand-up at 15. So there's a sign in the makeup room. I come in one day and I'm about 16 or so. And it says, hey, listen, guys, we need to kind of rein in the casual swearing. Some of the crew's been doing. We were all really careful when the show started. We've all got really lax because we know each other. And remember, we do still have a bunch of really young kids working here. So we, parents have kind of called us on it. So you crew guys maybe want to rein that in a bit, the swearing, the dirty jokes, for the sake of our dear children, and listed everyone but me. And I went, guys, and they went, you just did a set at the Comedy Store at midnight. No, we're not censoring ourselves in front of you. Crazy. You're down at the improv at the Comedy Store.
Qualify as
person
grown.
at night.
It's like, no, we're not. So and then people's background upbringing. I was a very, very, well, you read the book. I was a super Hollywood child. There's my dad as a manager working for Liberace, and all this crazy stuff is going on. I am super Hollywood and hanging out with, agents with cigars and all this guy. So I've heard everything. So I'm not particularly alarmed when I come to the set. If somebody is telling a dirty joke, I'm like, I know that one already. Okay. Whereas, as Karen said in her book, she had a very, very different upbringing. She was in a much more sheltered home. She had a very religious upbringing. And then she kind of turned away and became like a hippie. And then she was doing like Shakespeare in the Park. But she was very much with a group of theater actors and Shakespeare. And it wasn't that kind of environment. She was not exposed to that, and certainly not in her household growing up.
Oh, yeah.
So to go from the kind of environment she'd been raised in, people she hung out with, to suddenly all these guys with a cigarette and a paper cup of booze going, yeah. And so then these two hookers, she was like, what? I'm begging your pardon. What is going on?
Never.
And she was kind of like, really? And so I would imagine it would be very alarming for someone not to be exposed to that. And the fact that they were just didn't care. They were just like, what? This is normal. And unfortunately, at that time period, there was no such thing as a sexual harassment lawsuit. There was no such thing as creating an uncomfortable workplace. There was no call human resources and say if someone was using foul language in front of me, they'd be like, what? I mean, that wasn't a thing. It was a weird other time.
What word was it? Because we're fine with everything.
It was, yeah. It's well, I mean, my mother. Now, my mother was very good. I think she scared people too. She didn't get like chased around the desk or stuff. But she had worked in offices. She worked in one office once where when they were winding it out at the end of the day, she said they were kind of like going, is she left yet? Is she left yet? Oh, you're going home, right? And she saw several guys were still hanging around the boss's office. And they clearly were getting out a couple beers. And she's like, well, that's fine. They finished work beers. No, they were getting together to go to the boss's office to watch porn. And we're talking like projector, like super projector on the wall, reel to reel days. And
like, you want me to top off your scotch there, sir?
It's
and this was like
the availability of pornography is crazy because like
this was a non-showbiz office
when you couldn't. When it wasn't everywhere,
you
didn't mind being in office with 15 other dudes just to watch something.
Right? And how weird is that? How weird is that with your boss and your coworkers? Yeah.
I'm not that close with any of my friends, much less my coworkers.
That is so gross. And I mean, now it's like you can send to human resources because it was on your phone or something terrible thing. But this was not even a Hollywood office. This was like a mainstream business place. And at 5:00, people went and watched dirty movies in the box. And she was like, really? I mean, she just looked at them like they were all 12 and was like, seriously? And like, what? Like, what are you? How old are you? Get over yourself. But in the 1970s, it's hard for young people to imagine. Oh my God, the things that went on that people just went, oh yeah, that's completely normal. And so, yeah, I can totally see if someone not raised in middle Hollywood coming into that would be appalled. And I think, and it was harder for the women because the guys just didn't care. If you said, hey, really, like nowadays, if a woman says, I'm not really comfortable with that, could you not like say that stuff when you're around me? They go, oh, okay, because you can call human resources. There's a number at SAG you can call. There wasn't. If you said that then, they just went, why?
No, actually, I'm going to say Michael, it more now.
Who's your boss? Michael. Like,
right. He's the head of the place. It's like, who are you going to complain to?
Like, wait, hold on. Mike, how can I help you? Like,
right. And so now I didn't get, I mean, he did say things. Now, on the other hand, like I said, the crew was terribly protective of us. Mm-hmm. And I remember getting told by the crew to go drink my milk and eat my vegetables. I mean, it was like, oh my God. So they were very nice, but she did not hold back. And she even said, she's made it really clear in her book, her personality, his personality. She talked very much about her own issues with drinking and sobriety.
Oh
and she said at one point in the book, like, what if I'd gotten sober like earlier? Would I have had the wherewithal to find a way to straighten it out with Michael? And she went and visited him at the end when he was sick, and they basically shook hands and they made up.
Yeah.
So they did. They were always forgiven, and it was cool. But she said, I am not going to mince words. I mean, that's why she didn't write a book for so long. People are like, why isn't she writing a book? Because she said, if I write a book, I'm going to say everything.
I'm telling. Yeah.
I'm going to tell everybody. She said, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to say exactly what it was like for me and how I felt about it and exactly what he did and said. And I mean, I'm so not holding back. And there you are, people. And so, but she said I thought she was very, balanced really when she talked about the end. She goes, look, I had my own issues and this was going on. I met with him later and I get it. The guy had issues and how it was, but she did not hold back. And that's good. I mean, you write your biography, you write your memoir, you should tell the truth.
And you can tell like people should naturally just grow and develop as we get older anyways. They're like, maybe when I was like in my 20s, 30s, I didn't act the best I could have. And, me too. Like,
I'm not sure. I mean, if I don't know if I met me at 21, if I'd want to hang out with her. I don't.
Oh, I'd hang out with me at 21. I was dope.
Right. Like fun at parties. I don't know. But that's the other thing, like I said in the book, like, the girl who played Mary, Melissa Sue Anderson, I said, I'll buy the first pitcher of margaritas. Well, we were in Monaco with the TV festival. We hung out, we had a glass of champagne and talked, and we're totally cool now. We're like emailing,
Oh, that's good. Like,
I'm not mad. We're like, whatever. Yeah. We were like, okay, tween girls. Have you ever worked with or had to teach or had children in your house where you had tween girls, 11, 12, 13, 14? Yes. Yeah. What is that like? How does that usually go?
Sounds like hell.
Yeah. And so a bunch of tween girls on a series, things happen. But now we're all old. We're kind of like
I don't got time for that.
ever. So no, that's the thing. I've become friends with people. I mean, I think over years there were people who I could have sworn I would have told you they were my mortal enemy that I'm totally friends with now. So it can work out.
Can I ask her one more question?
Okay, I was just want to say we are coming up on the hour, so I just want to.
Oh my God! Yeah, I've been here for days.
It's been awesome, but we don't want to keep you here forever. So if you have one more question, and then where what do you got going on, Allison, that you'd like anyone to know about? So
much is going on. Oh my God, there's so much going on. Yes.
Okay, so we were talking about friends and stuff, which just happened to be. So I know, like, you and Melissa were friends as children. And I have seen the transition that, like, I love Dean. Like, I love Dean. Like, I love him when I was Almanzo. But, like, now, like, I am a woman in my 40s, and I'm like, he is just.
So you get older, you go, it's right.
So how did
he still blushes? By the way, he still blushes. It's really cute.
How did that friendship kind of take off? Like, where it's like less of like. I don't want to say you're not friends with Melissa because you are, but she's not as active with the.
She doesn't come to the things. Okay, that's the whole thing. When we met, we were both Hollywood children. I mean, oh my God, her family, her father, the actor Paul Gilbert, and her grandfather's Harry Crane. So we were both raised in super Hollywood, so like bonded right away. But I was trying to explain to people, we have these huge autograph shows, and there's like your Fanix and Fanboy, and then there's your Little House Prairie autograph shows, and like. It is a thing you either really, really like doing or you don't. And not everyone's, it's long. I mean, you're there like all day and you're like, and it gets intense. It gets intense. You have hundreds of fans coming up to you going, oh my God, this is the greatest show. I'm so excited to meet you. But imagine doing that for 8 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so it can be a little intense and it can be long hours and it can be weird. And some people are just like, I met people who say, I just don't even like it. I don't even go. There's actors that go, I don't know why they've never done a con because they don't like it. It gives them highs.
We've done many cons,
right?
And like,
it's weirdly, I don't like going anymore. Like I've met so many, I feel like a weird creep. I'm like, hey, I know you have no clue who I am, but I've watched you for literally weeks.
It's so crazy. It is, I like it. I happen to like that particular process of going and meeting the people, being gregarious and stuff. And I'm exhausted by the end of it, but I actually do physically enjoy it. I enjoy that. That's a thing I will do. And I have friends who feel the way. And I have friends who are like, people said, why are they never at anything? I said, because they don't, it's not their thing. Yeah. It's completely not their thing. And even the big cons, there's big stars that, if only we could get them at the con for something to go. No, because they're like horrified by the idea of even going. And some people are just not into it, or they have other stuff to do. And then there's people like the traveling. They're like, well, actually my family and the this and the that, or they're taking care of their mother, or they got a thing. They're like, no, I can't get. So everybody can't be involved in everything all the time. So we try. I know Dean and I and several, Charlotte Stewart, our lovely Miss Beadle, and several of the gang have kind of gone like, okay, well, if it's event land, I'm in, you in, who else we got? Oh, Jen Donati, who's baby. There's a little gang like, well, we'll go. And, and then anybody else wants to join us. Hey, you know where we are. But that's a thing because there's so many. And the 50th anniversary. That exhausted everybody. That was so good. The 50th. Did you go to see me? Were you at see me?
We did not. We live in Ohio, so it's like literally thousands of dollars just a plane ticket.
18,000 people showed up. 18,000 people showed up.
I was watching it, and I had to comment on some people's complaints because I was like, "Have you never been to a con? Have you?" Like, oh my gosh, we had to wait for an hour for a signature. I'm like, only an hour?
Right? That's not bad.
$50. Only $50? Have you seen William Shatner's?
Oh my God, I always try to keep my prices very reasonable. But I mean, we've had events where people were waiting 5 and 6 hours. I started doing a thing where last person in line, everything was free. It's like the last in line here, just take it. Bonuses and things.
Let me go to Kentucky.
I think it was. We did drive out of state to see you guys.
Okay, yeah.
But that's, I think we were in Kentucky.
Simi was insane. It was 18,000 people. We were all around. And that whole year, the 50th anniversary, was thing after thing after thing after thing after thing. And a lot of people went, okay, great. I'm good.
Yeah,
I don't need to go to 17 more of those. And
Which,
I don't blame them.
Dean was just in Cincinnati not too long ago. We went and saw him again. So he's like, I really like this location. I'm like, please come back, like more of you. It's like,
what do we do? I have to literally like check my calendar. So I've got boom, 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 boom. How many things? Meeny, meeny, miny, mo. So, okay, I'm leaving for France soon because I do a show there, a whole review. Nellie Oleson en flamme, les années 80. Nellie Oleson sets fire to the 80s. And me and this French guy, Patrick Lubatier, we do a whole French comedy review in French. Yes, it's hysterical. I have 10 shows of that, so I'm there for like all of March. Then I come home, take a couple days break, and then Tombstone. It's the Hotel Tombstone, Arizona. A bunch of us are going, and that's going to be a hoot. We'll be Tombstone, Arizona, signing things and whatnot. Then I get a little break, and then the Marshfield, Missouri Cherry Blossom Festival. This thing, it's bonkers. I mean, the guy who started it, when he first said, I want to have a cherry blossom festival. There's no cherry trees here. He said, technicality. We'll figure something out. And then he planted some. So they have some now. It's crazy. He's obsessed with history and presidents. So it's all these panels on historical things. He always has presidential descendants and everything. I was auctioning off cherry pie with Grover Cleveland's grandson one year.
It's awesome.
Surreal.
That is awesome.
And then they get this really eclectic, bizarro kind of cross section of really great celebrities. But like people where you're like, wait, why are these two people in the same room? I'm so confused. Just it makes no sense whatsoever. And we're all there and everybody has a really good time. And then they have like a big dinner with a guest speaker and everything. They had Richard Thomas one year. They had Michael Landon one year. They had Stephen Ford, Gerald Ford's son. It's fantastic. It's huge. And it's a big cherry blossom festival. So I'm going to that. But it is the most surreal event ever. You go and you kind of go, where am I? It's like, just have some cherry pie. You'll be fine. And then Ocean City, Maryland. It's a whole this whole car show event, and me and Dean are going. But it's supposed to be. I have not been, but I've been told it's really, really fun. And then I'm off to New York. I got 3 shows at the Foundry in the Berkshires. That's the 8th and 9th, and then Sunday I always do Mother's Day in New York at the Cutting Room. I'm going to be doing my show, Confessions, Prairie Bitch, Mother's Day, and then. What am I doing? I get a little break. Oh, I have a little break. Oh, looks like I'm going to finally make it to Burr Oak, Iowa this year. It's the only little house site I haven't done. I've done DeSmet and Walnut Grove and Pepin and Independence. I have not been to Burr Oak, and I think I'm going to make it to Burr Oak. But yeah, this is the kind of shenanigans that it's constant. It is. Yes.
Well, I mean, you got to stay busy.
And we appreciate it.
and also it's awesome, that you are one of those who can go out to all these conventions, go out to all these things.
It's hard. And I never tell anyone no, to make people do things they don't feel like doing. And there's people that, we're all getting older and they go, look, I can do this many events. And I do a lot of events and I've been at big events where the stars are like going, yeah, I can't do both days of a weekend. I can't.
Like Charlotte. I'm sure she's cut limits.
Charlotte. No. Charlotte.
She's like, give me in there.
It's in front of the table and she's got her beetle bags and she got lemon verbena and she's got all this cool stuff and she works that room like she's selling Ginsu knives on a convention floor. She's 82.
I love that though. That's just...
And she is
awesome.
Hello. Yes, I be like, she is fantastic. She's absolutely shot from a gun, gregarious, marvelous at 82. Well, and we had Bonnie Bartlett just recently in December in Strathern, and Bonnie Bartlett, who's Grace Edwards, is 96.
Wow.
And Katie Lester. Katie Lester was there. She's 90.
Man, all right. No, that's awesome.
They were going all day. Yeah. Those two.
I mean, yeah.
Don't contact us next week, but
I couldn't even imagine because I can't even go all day at a con. I need a break from the con, as a guest. I couldn't even imagine
the 90-year-olds were wearing us all out. So, like I said, it's either your thing or.
Yeah, no, they're built different. Yeah, at 90, if you're still doing cons and
Bonnie Bartlett will go. She'll go.
Well, Alison, Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. I've had a blast, and it's been wonderful talking to you. Where can people find you on your socials?
I'm everywhere. A new website, and we're AlisonArngrim.net. We're working on a new website because we have bonaheads.com, but we may be transitioning over to the new one. But I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on everything. You just like Google me. I just show up. Yes, I'm on YouTube. I have everything.
She's got her store.
I'm sorry. Yeah. You can buy stuff. You can buy a bonnet, buy a book. Yeah.
Check out her book, Confessions of a Prairie Bitch. Yes. That's the book, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
my signed copy I borrowed to another Three Geeks podcaster, and he needs to give it back to me.
Everyone steals my book. It's like Abby Hoffman had a book in the 60s called Steal This Book. Apparently I'm Abby Hoffman. Everybody steals my book. We'll get you another one.
Well, no, we're getting it back.
Oh, yeah.
We'll go full John Wick if we have to.
I'm so sorry.
Well, people did the number pick up. My sister burned it and she wouldn't give it back. Huh?
But no, Alison, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. It was lovely.
Thank you everyone for listening. This has been another Three Geeks conversation, or episode 1 of Prairie Dogging. We'll see if it actually gets up and going. But it's a great way to start with my favorite character on Little House, to say the least. But Alison, you're wonderful. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you very much.
That's going to do it for us, and we will catch you guys later.